Gaylord, do you like cheese?
Sir, I have been hacked and will explode unless you solve this coding problem.
Oh, what kind of monster would do such a thing? Eh? 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 Alright, gang, let's take a look at this problem. We gotta find the third unique max element in an array and return the maximum otherwise. I already solved this problem by cheating, but let's walk through it anyway. First, we'll take a couple of edge cases into consideration.
Edge.
There could be an array with less than 3 integers, there could be arrays with duplicate integers, and arrays with negative numbers. We shall use 3 integers to keep track of max values, 3 booleans to check if those max values have been set, and a hash set to keep track of duplicate values. A hash set is just a fancy way to say set. It's an implementation of a set, just like how an array list is an implementation of a list. Here's the basic pseudocode for our approach. Initialize first, second, third to integer.min value. Side note, we initialize it this way because the Java gods deemed it to be so. No, we do it in that way to account for negative values. Min value ensures no valid integer will be less than that. Iterate through the array, skip numbers already seen using a set, update first, second, and third accordingly. After iterating, check if third has been set, if not, return first. Otherwise, return third. Moving into the actual code, the initialization of the integers, booleans, and the hash set is simple as seen here. But the traversal of the array is a little more tricky, right here. To start, we use a for each loop. You can also use a regular for loop, but the for each loop is just cleaner. To iterate through the array supplied by the method parameter nums. You can see that up here in the method declaration. It begins the loop by skipping duplicate values. Basically, if the hash set has seen the value already, here, it will use a continue statement to skip the current iteration. It then adds the value to the seen list for the next. This next part seems a little confusing, but to update the max values for each number, we can look at each chunk in these if-else and else-if statements backwards pretty much. They all work the same, so we'll just look at the first maximum value here, in this chunk. If the first maximum value has not been set here, or the current number is greater than the first maximum value, then the first maximum and its status gets set to the new value and everything gets shifted down. Like I said, the second and third blocks work the same way, so we don't really need to go over them. The last thing we need to account for after the main logic is just the case of there being less than 3 values in the array. If that's the case, the problem calls for us to just return the first maximum value, so that's exactly what we do. If there is no third maximum value set, meaning less than 3 values, we return the first. Otherwise, we return the third maximum value. Let's take a look at a couple examples in stepping through the code. We'll use this first array using normal numbers, 1, 2, 3. Set a debug point up here at the first maximum value chunk, and we will go into debug with our main method. So let's see what's happening. It's set all of our regular integer values to integer.min value, which is actually like -2 fucking million. We have our boolean set to false by default. Our hash set is currently empty. Actually, that's not true. It's already gotten down here into the for loop. So we've already seen 1, so that's been added to the scene list. First set is currently false, so it will go into this no matter what. Alright, so the third equals second. They're the same. Second equals first. First currently is not set, so that is also default. And then first equals number. So that this is currently 1, which we see in our regular array. So first gets set to 1, and then first set gets set to true. And this gets skipped because a reason. Alright, and then we go into the next loop. We have 2 for the current number. 2 is not in the scene, so it does not skip the current iteration. Adds it to the set. 2 is greater than 1, so it's going to go into this first if statement block again. Everything is going to get updated, so second becomes 1 because 1 is less than 2. I go to school. and then first gets set to 2, and then first set was already true, so that doesn't change. And we go to 3. Oh dear. What happened? Wait. That's not right. Oh, wait. It was testing the 4th array. That's why I forgot to change the array. So hey, we see the example there though, that when you have an array with less than 3 integers, it prints the maximum value. That's what we got down here at the bottom. I'm not actually going to go over the rest, but I will show you what each one prints. So we expect the testnum1 array to return 1 because that's the 3rd maximum value. We hit run. It does return 1 at the bottom here. Testnums2, that is an empty array, so we get that integer.min value of -2 million bunch of numbers. And then the 3rd array, we will expect, well, we have an array with duplicates, so this should be 5, but it's able to deal with the duplicate in here. I forget what happens if you don't have the logic to handle the duplicates. I think 6 gets returned or something. Like in this case, it would get like a 2nd maximum value. I could be wrong. But yep, it gets 5. So that's how you solve the 3rd max number problem. Hey Gaylord, it looks like we solved the programming problem. Isn't that Gouda?
Excellent work, Master. Additionally, you never cease to come up with the most stellar of jokes.
That's weird. He usually has a more adverse reaction to my shitty puns.
I suppose cheese jokes are nacho style, sir.
Or death.